All right, so now we want to know the limit of the function rad x plus 1 minus 1 divided by x as x approaches 0. And you can see the problem right away. If you try to use direct substitution to plug in the 0 here, it's going to blow up. So the technique that we're going to learn here, we're going to rationalize the numerator so we can get another function. So let's rationalize the numerator. And to rationalize, we multiply the numerator, rad x plus 1 minus 1. We multiply it by its conjugate, which is rad x plus 1 plus 1. And we do the same thing at the bottom. We have x times rad x plus 1 plus 1. All right, so you can tell that we can use a shortcut here when you have two numbers, the difference of two numbers, and you have these same two numbers, the sum of these two numbers. We can the shortcut is to square the first one minus square the second one. Got to learn your shortcuts from pre-calc. So now this is equal to the square of rad x plus 1. Just remove the root, and now you have x plus 1, and minus the square of the second one, which is square root of 1 is 1, so minus 1. So now you can see that these two cancel, and at the bottom I have x rad x plus 1 plus 1, and now you can see that this one and this one cancel. So now we have 1 divided by rad x plus 1 plus 1. Now the question is, can I now use direct substitution? So I plug in 0. So I have 0 plus 1 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1. And so we got a 1 from here plus 1. It's 2. So my limit is 1/2. And like I said, once you get another function and an original function, and if you can find the limit of the second function, that you know that's the same limit as the first function. So the answer, so the limit is going to be 1/2 as x approaches 0. So let me graph this one, see what the behavior is. Let me graph that one. So I'm going to go to my graphing calculator. Where's my Desmos? So I have y equals rad x plus 1 minus 1. Divide this one by x. And you can see. And now the question is, what is the limit as x approaches 0? So let's see what happens at. I'm going to amplify this a little bit. So as x approaches 0, I move my my function right here, and as x approaches 0, I should see a hole. And it's right there. So as x approaches 0, I actually have a hole there. But remember, we found another function that shares all these points except for this one. So in the original function, there's a hole right there. Right there. All right, there's a hole right there. And the other function, so what was the other function? The other function was y equals 1 divided by square root of x plus 1 plus 1. As you can see, both functions overlap. But if you hide the red function and just leave the blue function, move the cursor, and you move it to 0. Now you can move it to 0 and you see the hole filled in, and it tells you the limit right there. The limit is 0.5. So in other words, this is the original function, and this is the function that it's like a sister function that we got out of this one. And so the first one say, I cannot put a 0 in there because x equals 0 is going to make the whole thing blow up. But in the second one, I can put a 0 in x because now I have the plus 1, and now the 0 doesn't affect my denominator, so I get 1 over 2, which is 0.5, and it's right there. And thank you for watching.